Morning guys, Tuesday the 30th of June. Got a bit distracted because somebody was coming quite close to their dogs and I was recording, and as I've done before, I pressed the pause button, but like once before I pressed the stop button by mistake, and I don't really want to do what I did before, which is put part 1 up part 2, so I'm going to try and rewind, so to speak, and just reflect a little bit about what I was saying. I was talking about being with what might feel like uncomfortable feelings and emotions, and I was talking particularly about something that I'd call professional envy, where somebody you may know in a work situation, or it may be, say, people you supervise, or your clients, coaches, therapists and so on, whereby they may be sharing something that is positive, is good. They've got a role, or they've got a piece of work, or they've put some effort and energy into something and developed some resource. But it could be anything, but it's about, sometimes you may feel envy. You're like, oh, I wish that, oh gosh, I wish I'd have thought of that, I wish I had that opportunity. But those sort of emotions and feelings can feel very difficult and challenging to actually share and say to people that that's sometimes what you might feel. I think a lot of people will feel they'll have mixed feelings inside about feeling that, so they'll feel bad or guilty or a bit of shame and try and push that down, and almost, then beat themselves up a little bit as well, feel bad for feeling it. But, I was sort of saying, rather than doing that, give it space and time, but instead sort of ask yourself the question, so what does this mean for me? I mean, what's the need that perhaps I feel is missing or lacking in myself that makes me feel envious of that? So, what is it that I need myself to be able to develop, put in place, that will fulfil that need, if you like. And then I was also thinking about a slightly different type of envy, maybe a bit of jealousy almost, which is I was thinking about newborns with parents, where it's often quite common. There's a standard thing that a lot of partners, particularly male traditionally, will feel pushed out, like they're defunct, a bit envious, a bit jealous of that they're not part of something that maybe they want to be part of, maybe even pushed out by the lack of intimacy, lack of sex as well, because of all this effort and energy, understandably, that the partner is putting into this little one. But actually, something else that I think isn't perhaps acknowledged quite in the same way is, I remember when certainly my daughter was really little, way younger, I remember going through a process of feeling quite resentful is the right word, I'm not sure, but perhaps a little bit jealousy and a bit, sort of rejected in some way. I think envious as well, actually, that I saw this sort of relationship, if you like, of the way her sort of father was being with her, and that really sort of struck a chord in me, because I just remember thinking, but I want that, but with obviously, her dad, and for some reason I didn't sort of feel that I had that in the same way, and just seeing somebody who you love and are with, showing that to somebody else, albeit this tiny little child, little baby, it does, or did, certainly for me, just exacerbate that sense of, Well, I want that, and if that person is able to show that to that little being, then they are capable of being able to, show that to me. But then feeling really, again, sort of quite bad, sort of mixed feelings, feeling a bit, guilty and for feeling those feelings and emotions. And certainly not talking, I don't want to talk to anybody about feeling that, because I just felt it wasn't okay somehow, that wouldn't have been acceptable. And yet again, as I said, I feel it points to is, well, so there's a need, there is something lacking or missing in some way, and so, how to go about addressing that, how to go about fulfilling that sort of that need, if you like. How else can that be met? What conversations may need to be had, which can, as I say, that's why I'm sort of speaking about that and naming that, because I think they are, again, difficult, often emotions and feelings that people can feel uncomfortable acknowledging themselves, never alone sharing with others. Yeah. And I think coming back to any emotion, any feeling, I think the first part is acknowledging it in ourselves, acknowledging that is what's going on, that is what we're feeling, accepting it stands for something, it represents something else. It's not just about the emotion and feeling, it's about what it represents. So I think acknowledging that, expressing that, writing that down, reflecting on that, sharing that with somebody trusts enough to be able to feel that they're not going to be judged for sharing that, I think is really key, really important. And I think once the emotion and feeling is acknowledged and expressed, worked through, looked at in terms of what does it mean, what does it represent, what's lacking, what's the need, what's the gap, what needs to be fulfilled, then I think a person may be more ready to move on a step in terms of considering what actions they need to take or may need to take that can help fulfill that need, that gap, whatever that is in some way. Willows certainly fulfilling a need and a gap. For some reason they seem to be berries. Always this little part of the wood, the berries. So guys, have a great tongue twisting, twirly twining, tutti frutti, tasty, thought provoking Tuesday, and shall speak to you later. Take care guys.